Welcome to a new test and teardown video. This time it's another HP. This one is a model 417A VHF detector. And it covers 10 to 500 megahertz in 5 bands, quite wide frequency bands. And this knob is like really tough to change. So there's some big and heavy stuff in there. And this unit can drive phones directly, so I guess it will be able to drive a little loudspeaker. This is actually what I'm going to try and see if we can hear something. The fuse was intact. I don't have a short to the chassis, so it should be safe to touch. And so far, this is going nice and smooth. Volume is nice and smooth. And this one is tough as I don't know what. So as far as I understand, it's actually a receiver, a regenerative receiver. So it's almost in self-oscillation mode. And this is how it can obtain a fair sensitivity. So I actually expect I should be able to receive some radio signals on this. So I'm going to power it up and let's see what happens. Let's just go straight for it, right? 219. Says 230. Let's see. Oops, yes, 40 watts. And 30 watts. Oh, we got nice light in here. Look at that. Let's crank up the volume. Oh, holy camole. It can definitely drive the speaker. Oh my god, I got a big shock. Okay. That is actually something. Listen to that. Isn't that just amazing? Well, I'm not saying it sounds absolutely fantastic, but this is the FM radio band, right? I can hear some talking and some music and some stuff. But anyway, it's alive. And I hear something. Huh. Definitely it works. So let's try and open it and see what is inside. That's where all the fun is, right? Whew, that was actually difficult to lift this damn thing out the case, because the free distance is like 0. But what do you know? There's actually a speaker in the case. So why did I bother with all the phones and stuff? So I guess I don't know. I need to try and check this out if this works. Man, I spent a lot of time finding a loudspeaker. So that's probably not needed. A nice lamp that's working. We got some really nice. Oh, that's still a little bit hot. So far, there's not so much to see. There's some really nice shielded. I think this is one of the oscillator tubes, right? Let's have a better view of that. Yips. So that is one of the oscillator tubes, and they really wanted to shield that one as good as possible. And wow, look at that. Those capacitors, aren't they just beautiful? Here's another one. See instruction before remove detector tube And that is in here, I guess. There's supposed to be a super sexy tube in here. A little tiny one. I can't wait to see how to get... Ooh. How do you get in there, by the way? Got some screws here and it's... Oh, this is super difficult. So what is the idea? I wanna see what is in there. So, ooh, the cable was here. It does not look like it's meant to be opened. Is that some conductive glue or something? Because it's completely sealed. They don't want dust and dirt to get in there. Because I kind of like to see what is inside stuff. That is not so good. Is a little bit funny. Why would you shield a tube that is already shielded? Isn't that funny? Because those are in a metal can already. So that is a little bit of not necessary. So I was able to open this magic. I think this is the feed through for the filament, right? So this is maybe how you do it. So that was quite easy. Look at that beautiful tube, HP 5876. So I guess this is 1960, right? So that will be the filament. Oh wow, that is super beautiful. And there's two connections down here, and then there's the chassis. And of course the filament, that makes 5 connections. So now the tube is all the way out. It is really one of the most special tubes. And I know this works. Isn't it just fantastic? Huh. Well, that is definitely something. But I'm really sorry I'm not able to get in to this cabinet here. Everything is completely sealed. And this whole cabinet is mounted in a way that it's just not possible to open that one. But of course there's I think we can maybe see this down there, right? No, it's not easy to see. Let's see if we can see the... Can you see the... I'm actually able to see this. There's a band switch moving around down there. This is impossible to show. But I can see I got some connections that will connect to those capacitors, and the capacitors, they're connected to that one, to the indicator, to the tuning. So that is how it works. I need to put this all back again. But there isn't really a lot to say about this unit. It's not a lot of parts to find. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, what, 5? 5 tubes, that's kind of what it is. And that is what it takes to make a radio receiver and drive a speaker and all that. Oh no, look at all that smoke. I was playing with this. Now all the smoke went out. And I didn't record it. Something is definitely burning. Oh, it's one of the capacitors. Oh man, damn it, it is bad. But I didn't record it. I was just sitting and playing with this thing. And I was looking at the watt meter and then still see something is smoking. It's coming out. It's coming out of there. This is not so good. Well, damn it. Oh man, it is playing again. But the internal speaker is not working, so I need to connect my external speaker and then it works. And so this is 100 megahertz with a little bit of AM modulation, and as you can see here on the dial, the frequency is accurate. Isn't that just amazing? So how about we go to 500 and then we dial this all the way, so that is 500. Let's try 450 right there, right? So let's go to frequency 450 megahertz, and here we go. Isn't that just fantastic? So it really works. So what was the problem before? That was this shitty shield here that touched. So this, oh, can't listen to this. So the connection for the filament needs to be in between one of these so it doesn't short. That is so stupid. Why didn't they just remove one of those so you could easily see how to mount this? Or I don't know. Or maybe you should just read the manual before you poke around inside stuff. Luckily I didn't melt the coil, the filter coil for the filament, because I was fast, but smoke definitely escaped. Ooh, don't touch anything here, that's high voltage and stuff. Remember, I just couldn't move this knob, or just barely move it because it was really stuck. And what happens is the shaft is kind of lubricated with some grease, so it goes really nice and smooth. But over the years this grease sucks in dust and turns into chewing gum, and then you can't move it. But I'll take one of these pipette thingies here and just put a few drops in here, then some of it actually goes into the shaft, and then you just work it a little bit and then it goes nice and clean. Of course, wait with power on before all the alcohol is evaporated, but no, and it's actually going to stay like this. I've tried this a million gazillion times and it just continued to stay good after you did this little trick. You don't even need to take the knob off or anything, as long as you can access it from the back. If you take away the knob and want to solve this from the front, then you have a huge problem grabbing the shaft and to move it. And if you try and do this with some tools, you will create some sort of wrinkles in this metal, and then you can't put on the knob again. So that is not recommended to do that. Yippee! Now the internal speaker works. Of course, I tried to give it 1.5 volts from a little battery just to confirm the speaker was working, and then I started to figure out, hey, what the hell? Why isn't the internal speaker working? And it actually turns out this switch inside the jack didn't work, so it could only feed out something where the connector or the connection is not needed. Then it goes to the external speaker, but there's actually a little switch up here that connects the audio to the internal speaker when this is not plugged in. So this is the internal speaker. See, that's how it works. In case you wonder about this, you've seen this many times on HP equipment, and you can see this is off and this is on 230 volts. And the reason why you can't pull it the other direction is actually, if you look here, see, 115. So this is how you change it to different voltage ranges. You loosen this nut and then just move this up, and then you can switch it down to 115. Very, very simple, but I don't really like this method. I prefer a proper on-off switch, but this is a all-in-one solution.